Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is JGOD. In today's video I'm going to focus on the Rampart 17, which is a rifle in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. And when it comes to giving you a best class setup for the Rampart, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the strengths and weaknesses of this weapon. One of my favorite parts about the Rampart is that it's an absolute melt machine. The Rampart also has many attachments that allow you to make the weapon way more competitive. So those are a couple of the good things about the Rampart. Now let's get into one of the major flaws with this particular weapon. One of the major downsides with this particular weapon is that it can be very inconsistent at times. And I think that inconsistency comes from the fact that this weapon has a higher than average recoil. I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you think this weapon is inconsistent? And if you do you agree with me that it's because of the recoil? So with that, let's go ahead and get into the best class setup for the Rampart 17. So right here you can see on screen that I'm running the high caliber 1, high caliber 2 with FMJ and fast mags. As far as the gear goes, I'm running that ComSec device. It doesn't really matter what you use in that slot. Ideally, you want the stim shot, acoustic sensor, or ComSec device. Out of those three, just do not run body armor. So with the remaining two pick 10 slots, I decided to go with tac mask and dead silence. Obviously, there's different preferences for this. And if you find it too difficult to only have these two perks available to you, I would highly recommend dropping the fast mags out of the 4 attachments there. Or if you happen to struggle with the recoil, I would definitely swap out that fast mags for a grip. So now we went ahead and got the class setup out of the way. If you did enjoy the video in any way, or if you found like you actually got what you wanted out of the video, which was a best class setup for the Rampart, please hit the like button. Let's see if we can get this video over 500 likes. And if this is your first time to the channel, this is typically where I transition into a gameplay breakdown, kind of take you through my thought process as I play a match. But in addition to this type of content, I typically do Call of Duty news, in-game updates, best class setups, subscriber breakdowns, as well as other tip and trick videos on how to improve at Call of Duty. Any of that's something you'd be interested in, make sure you subscribe with those notifications on by ringing that bell. So for today's gameplay, we're actually going to be playing some Safeguard on Gridlock, and the particular weapon that we're going to be using in class setup is all the one that I described for that Rampart 17. So one of the nice things about this weapon is that pretty much as long as you land your shot, you are melting the enemy player. They will not have a chance. You'll put them down pretty quickly. And the fact that you can have that FMJ is another advantage, because if people run body armor, you'll need that attachment because high caliber 2 just doesn't do enough. And unfortunately, one of the worst parts of this particular match is even though I go on a long streak, you're going to see the enemy team, they get a little bit frustrated and one of them actually starts to cheat. So once that switch happens, I'll make sure I point it out because it's going to be pretty obvious. He's going to be jitter modding with the SG-12. So pretty much all you see me doing right here is I'm kind of pre-aiming this particular area, hoping my teammate can walk the bot, because as long as I keep the enemies away from the bot, they can pretty much walk the bot with ease. You can see I'm not going against scrubby players either. That particular dude has that like killer thing, so it's usually a sweatier player, and that's probably why they decided to pull out their cheater mode, hacker type stuff, because at the end of the day, they probably couldn't hang just getting melted by this gun. I know personally I don't like going up against the Rampart because the time to kill is just a little too fast with high cal 1, 2, and FMJ. And this window is a pretty good spot to kind of peek out and make sure that no one's flanking the team. And then I'm just kind of seeing what the minimap is telling me. It looks like all the enemies are mid-map, but I do want to make sure that we have a little bit more players before we make that huge push. And what you'll see is I decided to turn around once we kill this guy, and then I'm pretty sure I have a gut feeling someone's trying to flank. And that's why I kind of post up a little bit. The guy pops up on the mini-map at the last second, take him out, and then now I'm able to push around the other side of the map. There's still some action going on where I just killed that guy, but I decided to take a different route. A lot of times what's good right now is they're assuming that everyone is pretty much mid-map, and I end up running to a guy trying to do the exact same thing. He was going for a flank. They probably know kind of where I'm at now, so I got to be a little more conservative, because I do not have a suppressor and I do not have ghost. I know I was very close to my next streak, so I end up calling the little health boost so I can get the rest of my streaks. And since they don't have a 0, I decided to call in my drone squad. So what I did right there, I peeked a little bit of the menu. I was like, do they have a 0? No, they don't. Let me go ahead and call this in. And it'll cover my back as I push through the spawn. This aggressive spawn should allow my teammates to push heavily. And then as I'm coming through the spawn, my drone will go ahead and snap onto a lot of those enemies. I can pretty much rush through pretty safely. My drone will give me some kind of indication, so even if I turn on the guy, it'll be a little bit lower health. You see I got 2 kills with the little drone squad, and I took out a 3rd. We're just waiting for that bot to get back started up. Go ahead and rejoin my team. I go ahead and see what's kind of going on here, and I just got to kind of get a sense of where people are coming from. I know a guy's coming mid-map, and then it looks like they're all coming around this right side by the bot. So I'm letting my drone squad do a lot of the work, because if I push up the right way, they should be able to just kill people and spawn, allow us to walk up the bot. Unfortunately, I decided to be a team player and actually walk the bot, and I get lasered. And although I didn't really touch the bot the entire match, when I actually decided to, there were no teammates around, and I actually just got a little bit outgunned. I probably could have been a little bit more accurate in that case, but that probably goes back to the inconsistencies with the accuracy on the weapon. Maybe I just missed a few shots that maybe I should have hit. So right here, we make that final push, and then it switches over to the second round. I was 25-1 so far, so not a bad start by any means, but I definitely want to try and repeat it in the second half. I do happen to push to this left side because ideally no one's actually going to be there, and you can get a really nice flank. In this particular scenario, someone ended up being there. Because I was able to hit my shots, I was able to take them down rather quickly. And all I'm doing right now is I'm thinking someone's going to come for the revenge kill. I'm just listening for audio cues and seeing what's going on with the map. They start pushing that bot pretty aggressively. I know that a lot of them are there. If it's not moving, then I know that my teammates are pretty much kind of spawn trapping them in that scenario. So once I get that feel of where people are at on the map, I decide to push through this side and try and go for that flank. Fortunately, there was a guy trying to turn around and come through that side, but I was able to take him out. To come through here, play pretty aggressive. I'm low health almost this entire time, and I'm just sitting in this corner right next to the objective, seeing if any of the enemies will actually rush. I know I have a teammate just right there looking towards the window there, so I'm not sure if someone will rush through this left side or through the right. What I'm doing by positioning myself this way is if I get a good angle, I can actually just shoot the person, kind of dodge between the bot or not. And it looks like this enemy was a little distracted by my teammate, so I was able to snap onto him before he could kill me. You can see he gets absolutely vaporized. So at this point, I'm strategically positioned to pretty much camp the bot, seeing if any enemies run up like that guy did. So I'm in prime position to take that guy out if he decides to rush around that way. I end up getting hit by that little shock charge, but because his gun's so strong, it absolutely demolishes the guy. Probably landed at least one hit fire shot, then was able to side in and take the guy out. Then I get an engagement here. The guy wasn't ready for me to jump out. He was probably thinking I'd heal myself and wait up, and that's exactly what I'm doing right here. Healing all the way up, and then just camping the bot. Want to see where enemies are going to be coming from, see if they're positioned in a smart way where I can actually just get easy kills without taking any damage. The mini-map just went off, so I'm seeing if someone's there. I jump down. That guy has ghost on. I was trying to cut through this way, didn't see the barbed wire. Now I got to cut back through the building. And because of that strategically placed barbed wire, you can see they moved the bot up just a little bit more. So now I'm actually behind the flank. They turned around. I'm able to take that guy out. Already on a merciless again. And before I even had a chance to heal, the guy comes directly for me. He knew exactly where I was. The Rampart doesn't come with the suppressor, nor did I have one attached. So at the end of the day, when you fire your weapon, you're going to show up on that mini-map. But with the use of the Hellstorm, I'm able to pretty much take down the bot. So that's a cool thing with the Hellstorm. You are playing solo, and maybe you don't want to use a launcher for your secondary. You are able to work your way all the way up to that Hellstorm. You can shut that down pretty quick. And right here, I go toe-to-toe with another Rampart, and I just happen to miss another couple shots. I think that comes back to the inconsistency of the recoil. Felt like I was being accurate. I felt like I was on target, but just one bullet miss is all it takes for you to lose that gunfight. Currently, where the bot was shut down and it just got reactivated is probably one of the best spots for the bot to be, because when you get that map control, it makes it almost impossible for the team trying to push the bot to actually push the bot. So my current objective is to lock down this middle area and pretty much make it so that they can't cross that middle section. And the only way they're going to get to us is through this doorway. See, that guy got absolutely demolished. He probably was a little bit low health, but he got absolutely shredded. He couldn't actually do anything. And you can see how I have no trust for my teammates. I keep rotating back and expecting them to shoot somebody, but they don't actually cover that area at all. The guy up top should be covering it, and I continue to look back and forth. My teammates are probably getting demolished and spawn, and I'm just not noticing it. But I'm trying to push up to lock these things down, and I get absolutely demolished by a war machine. Obviously outplayed. I'm 42-4 right now, so pretty good. And there is the jitter modder. I told you the guy was going to pop out. You probably heard his gunfire in the background. If you ever run into someone where the gunfire is like that, you're going to want to block them immediately and report them for cheating. So if you've never run into someone like that, it's almost impossible to beat them, especially if you get within that close range, because they can fire the bullets so dang fast. So I've already died 3 times to garbage, once to that war machine, 2 to this unnecessary shotgun. And I knew at this point I wanted to close out the match. I want to make sure that this 55 seconds goes by and that they're not able to move this bot, because I do not want to go into a 3rd and 4th round against someone jitter modding. You can also see that dark matter just changed to that purple. Right here, I got caught in the middle of reloading, so my bad for kind of rushing through that area, not expecting someone. So I think I was just trying to go a little bit fast paced, cut off that area of the map so they can't actually push the bot. So I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you know about jitter modders? Is this your first time running into them, or did you experience them a bunch in another Call of Duty? Obviously, when you change your playstyle up a bit to be a little bit more aggressive and be more objective hungry, you're going to end up probably losing a few more engagements than you probably should have, because you get out positioned. You see right here, I end up taking all those guys out. The weapon is very powerful. Only thing that's going to trip us up right here is this little microwave shield. A little worried about that. I think some of my bullets actually registered on the top left of it. And that about wraps it up for the video. If you did enjoy the video in any way or found any of the tips helpful, please hit that like button so we can go ahead and get this video over 500 likes. And if you're brand new to the channel and haven't hit that subscribe button, this is probably the time to do it. You stuck around to the end. You probably enjoyed the content. I do appreciate all the support you guys show on the channel. Thank you for watching. And as always, have a great day.